All right, everybody up in 10 jumping jacks. Yeah, YouTube boogie. YouTube boogie. Okay, all right. Here's the deal, everybody. It's time to wake up.
Wake
on
up,
day
wake
3.
up. Happy Winning Wednesday and a happy day 3 of the TKC. I just came in your way.
Exactly. Today's day 3 of the Transformation Kickstart Challenge, and we are also going through, in case you're just joining us for the first time this week, great to have you. Welcome back if you've been with us all week so far. It is hump day, Mike. And today we are going to light everything on fire, just like we did the last couple of days. And I don't mean technology, because today it's on our side. And we are going to show up for you today so that you can be inspired, you can be empowered, and you can believe in yourself to accomplish whatever body transformation goal you have. And we have some special surprises.
If you think that yesterday was a good day, today is going to be
an even bigger day.
What we're going to talk about today seems one of the things that really hits home for a lot of people. And right before we started this video, I was just like, I'm so excited for today because, yeah, let's keep it on this one.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because today's conversation is also like so fitting for me in my life in this moment right now. Before we get into today's conversation, what's going on over there?
Just playing with paper.
Wow, it's so loud. Okay. So before we get into today's conversation, remember that accountability is a big part of the game. So please,
we have a whole slide for this. Watch. Okay, today we're talking about never quit on your weight loss goals again. Yesterday's recap, we talked about current thought habits form your identity, and that forms your behavior habits. So if you want healthier habits, be consciously creating a healthier identity. Accountability time.
All right. So today's day 3, which means that we wrapped up 2 days in the game. And you know that every single day you have up to 3 targets to complete. So on a scale of 0 to 6, I want to see all the players. Where are you currently at in the game? Drop it.
6, 3 out of 6. Morning, Les. Morning, Brandy. Morning, Lori. Morning, Katie. 6. More 6s.
Great.
4. Okay. I see you, Leah.
What matters is that you show up. Okay. It's about playing the game, right? When you want to score in life, you're not gonna attempt to score from the sidelines. You're gonna get on the field, right? So great job for anybody who is dropping their scores, showing up. And if this is your first day too, by the way, you can start from wherever point you are. Okay. So we want to talk about yesterday so we can relate into today.
I recapped yesterday.
Okay. So day 1, we talked about the power of your environment, right? And how it's either, forcing you down, or you also can choose to create that same powerful force by auditing your environment. And yesterday we started diving into the pyramid, okay, of in your environment, what is it that we need to create? And we talked about, the habits that are most often talked about with regards to all things, body transformation, weight loss, body manipulation. The known ones are of course, the movement and the nutrition. And while movement is food and food is medicine, why is it that over 90% of women continuously diet for their entire life and they lack getting to their goal? So now it's not a matter of you having a 6-pack. the fact that 98% of Americans are, on the sickness part of the sickness wellness fitness curve means that, there's some form of glitch with the system, right? So this entire challenge is here to reveal to you the concepts that will help to bridge the gap between the breakdowns within the system and the things that you need to know so that you can start implementing it on a deeper level so that you can get towards your goal when you've set your vision and move towards that. So now, while we are on the topic, right? So the foundational habit that really is in charge of every decision that we make or do not make is your thought habits, right? Because listen, you can know that eating broccoli is better for you. Now, if you continuously go for that brownie, then there is something behind that, right? Because your thoughts lead to your words. We talked about that yesterday. Your words lead to your actions. Your actions build other habits, and on and on and on it goes. Okay. So, in today's conversation, we are going to take this concept of your thought habits and implement it with, perhaps nutrition or things that, we normally hear that people struggle with. So, let's get real and vulnerable for a second. And, for those of you who are live with us, I'd love it if you could drop in the chat, like, is there a thing that you feel has control over you? You're like, Erin and Suri, I know that, eating this and that is better for me, but, for some reason, such and such thing seems to be the word that is normally used is my kryptonite.
Or like, I can't say no to blank.
Yeah. What is that thing for you? So
Chocolate.
So I'll tell you, for me, my thing used to be anything chocolate related. I can't see your name. All I see is Facebook user. I can totally relate. I would overconsume chocolate whenever I had some kind of emotional trigger to the
Milk,
to the point of like absolute sickness.
diet soda, chips, wine,
Yeah.
coffee, sweet, oatmeal cranberry cookies
Ooh, that sounds good.
with white chocolate chips or what? Chocolate and peanut butter. Chocolate covered cinnamon bears. Ooh. Fruity pebbles. Ooh, could smash a box of fruity pebbles. Potato anything. All sugar. Sweets of any kind. Chips, candy, alcohol.
Mm.
All right.
So today, your thoughts shape the degree of your emotional resilience. Okay. So, thoughts, emotional resilience. And together, those two make up what we call your perspective. It is not what you know sometimes in your lives. It's about what is it that you choose to look at and focus on in order to give you the power to continue to persevere. Why is it two people, right, running a marathon? One people on mile marker number 10 decides to, just joint pain, soreness, what, I'm just going to get out of the race. Meanwhile, person number two, blisters on their feet, like pain, soreness. Why is it that they keep on going? Higher degree of emotional resilience. That's all it is.
So I have a
And
question.
yeah,
This plus this equals this,
so
or
so your thoughts and your emotional, so your perspective is made up of your thoughts, which gives rise to your emotional resilience.
got it.
So up till today,
So this plus this equals this.
yes,
Got it. Okay. Your thoughts plus the way that you then choose to see a situation based on your thoughts equals how much emotional resilience you will have.
yeah.
For those of you who just understand my language and not street language.
So, this is why it is not so much about, oh, like this person has it easier or I'm having it harder. Life is hard, so it's like, how do we choose what is hard? So, like, you know, going back to that kryptonite thing, like, how does one go from literally having no control whatsoever over a certain food, for some people it's alcohol, maybe drugs, that sort of thing, to having complete power over it? It's a process, right? But what it takes is emotional resilience, right? Like, when you look at me today, you wouldn't think that I used to be held captive to chocolate. Like, if you would open the drawer that's right underneath the desk, you can't see it. Like, as you open it, all you'll see is like wrappers everywhere. Poof. Because I would also be so ashamed about it, right? Like, deep down when, an object is holding you captive, that it makes you feel weak. It makes you feel like you have no control.
Shame,
It makes you
guilt,
feel,
wrong.
yeah, it makes you feel ashamed. And some people are even scared to eat in public because that shame carries over into other areas of your life. And what you think about yourself within yourself, you think everybody else is thinking about you. So, like, for me, like, when I was going through that season in my life, I actually wasn't even able to eat in public. I didn't want people to watch me because all of my insecurities that I saw within me, I thought that everybody else was looking at me the way that I was looking at myself. So that was just my own life experience. But I would love to know from you guys, like, if you can resonate with anything of what I'm saying, please go ahead and drop an R in the chat, because today's conversation is really powerful, because we're going to teach you how to start gaining power over that thing or things that, you know, currently hold you captive, so that you can continue to persevere, the next time a trigger shows up in your life, or, the next time you go through a hard season, right? It doesn't have to be, oh, I was so good until something happened. When you are emotionally resilient, you're going to overcome it no matter what. Okay, cool. Awesome.
So this is actually a really good segue. I said I was going to share some of my story with you so that you understand. Some people really resonate with Sari and her story with her dad and a like critical event that happened. Some people resonate more that that was not my story. And so for me, because if we're speaking about this and what we want to teach you how to do is to be able to overcome, be able to create an emotional resistance so that you can gain control of your emotions and not take it out on food or alcohol or something else that negatively contributes to the weight loss goals that you have. So we can come back to that page. But here's where I started. When I was young, I was very athletic. I don't know if I was fit or not, but I was a good athlete. I played sports at the earliest age I can remember, soccer minis, when you just like swarmed around the ball like bees. And I played soccer. I played soccer until freshman year of high school was my last year of soccer. I played basketball from third grade all the way up until my sophomore year of high school was my last year doing basketball. And I did track and field. I tried pretty much every field event and most running events. I tried hurdles. I tried 200. I tried 400. I tried relays. So I was very much comfortable with moving and didn't really pay attention to what I ate because I didn't need to, and I didn't know that I was supposed to. Nobody taught me that. My parents didn't know anything about nutrition. My mom was always trying to lose weight and, buying low, uh, sodium wheat, low fat-free wheat thins and, low sodium this and that, and, like, whatever hamburger helper, and, like, if we ever had a salad, it was some carrots and some mushrooms and almonds with some iceberg lettuce and, like, ranch and croutons and sesame seeds and bacon bits. So, I didn't know anything about nutrition, make macaroni and cheese with hot dogs in it, like so as I stopped doing track. 8th grade was my last year of track. By the way, the events I landed on was high jump, 800-meter run. Why the fuck would anybody choose an 800-meter run, right? Why did I choose it? There was this one girl who always beat me, and I couldn't get her. Okay, anyways, so I stopped track after 8th grade. I stopped soccer after freshman year. I stopped basketball after sophomore year. I got into skateboarding and snowboarding. So I was still active, however, not nearly as much. And so I started to put on a little bit of weight. So my last couple of years of high school, I started to get a little fluffier. Didn't really pay attention to it till I got to college. And in a couple of years, gained like 30 pounds or something. So um, I I remember at the age of like 16 or something, for some reason I got in my mind that I needed to lose weight. I was 16 or 15, something like that. And I remember looking up on the internet when like you had to do it at the house with dial up. And I was like, there's 3,500 calories 3,500 calories in a pound. Okay, so let's go to the gym at my friend's apartment complex and we're going to go on a treadmill until we burn 3,500 calories. Okay. After like 10 minutes, I'm like, I've only burned 20 calories. This is gonna suck. Like, I'm gonna be here all day. I think I got to like 200 and I was like, F this. So, started doing like taking diet pills and things like that, not even really knowing. I was in high school. Okay, cool. Then I hired a personal trainer because I was absolutely miserable. I was crying in the shower and I was like, I hate myself. I said all the things that y'all wrote in the chat yesterday. Fat, lazy, ugly, unlovable, gross, bleh, right? Ultimately thinking unworthy. I just didn't really know what that word was at the time. So I'm in college, sophomore year of college, eating Taco Bell 3 days a week, ice cream every single night, pulling all-nighters because I was procrastinating on my homework because intramural soccer was right outside my dorm window, and so I'd rather watch that, wishing that I could freaking run on the field.
Drop a P if you're a procrastinator.
All right. And drop the sport that you played if you played a sport. Okay. Singing is a sport too. La, la, lee. Okay. So then get a personal trainer because I'm miserable. So I pay like thousands of dollars I do not have. Okay. I'm like, whatever, don't care. Why have money if I hate my life? Okay, so I start losing weight. Do 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 do. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm playing basketball with the guys at the gym again. I'm doing Stairmaster. I'm doing weights with my trainer. I'm learning a lot of cool stuff. Fell in love with it. Great. Then now I'm a personal trainer. Now I'm in the environment of all people who are doing figure competitions, bodybuilding competitions, and I'm like, wow, they look jacked and amazing and tan and all that. I want to do that. Okay, environment. So then I do figure. Boom. I was like 180-ish, by the way, here. I get to like 120, 115, 120, something like that. Way down here. Okay. This is where the fun begins. Okay. This part was all right. This is where the fun begins. I do this figure competition. I'm doing 2 hours of cardio a day. I'm doing 5 weight training sessions a week. I am eating, very specific number of grams of carbs, proteins, fats. I get 1 tablespoon of peanut butter in the morning and 1 tablespoon of peanut butter at night. That's all the fat that I get to have. No yogurt, no fruit, no anything like if it was a carb, had to be a sweet potato, it had to be brown rice, couldn't be anything else, green beans, broccoli, whatever, tilapia. Okay. Super strict and regimented. Now, this is the part where you guys usually go to when you want to lose weight, super strict and regimented. I've got to follow the rules exactly to a T or else.
Drop a yes if this is you.
Okay. So then I do the figure competition. I got fourth place out of four. Then I'm allowed to eat whatever I want. My goal wasn't necessarily to win. I was just like, if I can do it all the way and know that I did not cheat one time, that's a win for me. Okay. So fourth out of four, good. Now, what happens here? Changed my life forever. I gained 20 pounds in 1 month because I could eat whatever I wanted. I was getting muffins and scones at Starbucks, frappuccinos. I was going get Zoomies at BJ's Bar and Grill, eating calzones, everything. Okay. No control whatsoever. Then I, again, how do I lose this weight? All that I know how to do that worked, right? I do it again. Boom, drop some. But I don't last as long as I did before because now I don't have a competition to do. So this sucks. Gain more. Whoops. Okay, what do I know what to do? Be restrictive again. Lose a little. This sucks. Gain more. And this happened for 5 years. 5 years I saw a counselor. I wondered if this is how life was going to be forever. Super depressing. Um, Also, I was a personal trainer during a bit of this time, so I felt like an absolute fraud. I felt like a fake, um, trying to help people lose weight when I couldn't get control of my own shit. And then what we're gonna teach you next is how do we get out of this? How do we get out of this obsessive, like, just behavior with food? Um, and so that is where I came from. That's what I went through, and so I know all the emotional exhaustion, the mental exhaustion, physically, like, tearing my body apart, wrecking my metabolism because my body can't trust me when I do this. Am I gonna get food? Am I not gonna get food? Am I gonna get all the food? Am I gonna get no food? Am I gonna get shit food? Am I gonna get good food? I have no idea. I can't trust you, okay? So, we can move on now
Yeah,
to how do we
I'd love to know from you guys before we move on. Like now that you've heard both of our stories, which story do you resonate more with?
And while you guys are dropping that, I got here. I made these. I want to show you guys because our internet's working. Okay, so we do need to measure success because we need to know, like, am I making progress? Right? Makes sense. We have to measure it somehow, or we don't know if it's working. But how do we measure it? This is usually what we think. How much do I weigh? What's my circumference measurements around my belly button and my butt and what are my pant size, shirt size, whatever. But what if we thought about our progress measured through our actions? And this is where we come to our bank account concept, because y'all are going to understand that both, same, both, a little of both. Aaron, Sarik, with the exception of the health crisis, kind of both. Aaron,
Okay. Okay. And by the way, that's why you probably decided to join this challenge because you saw something that you can relate to. But like now that you hear our stories, you can relate to us on a deeper level. And on the topic of so you build emotional resilience by building your emotional bank account, and we're going to talk about it. And what building your emotional bank account does is it provides you a simple system that allows you to build discipline by having a better perspective that helps you to follow through. Um, how do you gain your personal power when you come from a point of you are a victim to a food or a thing? Like, think about it. Like, how do you go from the lowest of lows in terms of control of food to having all of the power. And that is by building your emotional resistance and the system that we're teaching you today,
Resilient,
resilience, by building your emotional bank account. And
aka stacking them rules.
yes, and I want to share with you something real quick.
Yeah.
This is me just being real and vulnerable. Like, you guys, you know, when you do something in a different way, when you learn a new system, or when you try something for the first time, so what we're teaching you here is how to play the game in a different way. So it's new. It is very normal to be doubtful. And I'll tell you, in my life, I'm doubtful a lot. However, the reason why I continue to lean in is because I have cultivated discipline, and I continue to cultivate discipline, which helps me to build my emotional resilience, because it is no doubt that, a rainy season is going to show up at your doorstep. It is no doubt that the winter is coming, but what are you gonna do? Are you just going to live your life every time it rains? I'm just giving you an analogy. Like, hey, okay, I'm gonna stay in the house because it's raining. Or are you gonna go like full-fledged regardless? I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do because I have a vision and I'm living my life on purpose, and therefore I will lead my life on purpose. So the missing link is this emotional bank account system, because by the end of the day, especially if, like whether it's Erin's story or my story that you resonate more with, we both have done the up and down so many times. And when you do the up and down so many times, how do you look at yourself in the mirror with faith that this is going to work? This is how, because you let your actions determine who you are becoming, rather than using the scale to validate those same limiting beliefs that you have identified and confronted yesterday. What you focus on expands. You focus more on those limiting beliefs, guess what? You're going to get more of that. So every time a rainy day comes up, you're going to be like, okay, I'm going to stay in my house in my raincoat. Or are you going to lead with power actions? However, what if you lead with power actions and you're still doubtful? This is what we do.
All right. So I'm curious to know. Somebody asked. I was asked the question last week. What are you trying to be right about? When you have something happening in your life consistently, you are manifesting that. Now, sometimes it can be hard to believe. How could it be because of me that, somebody else is doing whatever, right? It's just called responsibility. And somebody asked, "What are you trying to be right about?" And I didn't understand what that meant. I don't know. I'm 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 not trying to be right about anything. And what I realized today actually was that we all tell ourselves stories. We all tell ourselves stories. You have your own. Perhaps it sounds something like this. When I try to diet, I never succeed. I never follow through.
Never stick to
I
it.
never stick. Whenever I try to lose weight, I just get frustrated with myself because I can't stay from blah, blah, blah. And all we do when we have that story in our mind is look for validation that we are right, because we want to be right. It's ego. It's human. It's a natural thing. We want to be right, and our subconscious behaves and looks for what will make us right. So we have to change the story. So when I step on the scale and I see the weight didn't go down, validation. See, I this never works for me. See, I knew it. And you're validating the story. Now, you get to change the story. You're the author of your life, and you get to change the story. And I'm curious to know from you guys. First, okay, I need two things. Number one, how many lives have you watched? Either you've watched it live or you watched it replay. Put it in at 1, 2, or 3 today. 1, 2, or 3. How many have you watched? That's the first question. The second question is, yes or no? Is this different? Is this challenge different than any other challenge that you have participated in with the intention of transforming your body? Yes or no?
Whoever is live with us has
I see a bunch of 2s and 3s. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's great, you guys.
Okay, we got a yes, 3 yes, 9 plus. Okay, we're rewatching. Great. Yes, yes. Hell yes, absolutely. If somebody disagrees, I am open to that. You're not gonna hurt our feelings. I really wanna get a clear consensus. No, no, go. Not sure what that means. No, it's not different. Okay, money plays. I'm not gonna make a judgment. It doesn't seem like you're our audience, but, okay, no, we got one no. What was the question? Is this money play us? Said it twice. Okay, money play us. Glad to hear. Okay, so first time ever doing something like this. Okay, that's fair. But it keeps me coming back every day, so that's good. Okay, great. So, I have a feeling there's somebody that's not our audience, but okay, so general consensus, 99.99999% of you said yes. Now, you don't have to answer this in the chat. I'm just curious to know from you what is different about it. And if you want to put it in the chat, go ahead. What is different about this? And the reason I'm asking you is because I want you to recognize and acknowledge what is different because you can't change. You can't change the outcome unless you have a different approach, unless something is different. I had a boyfriend who turned into a husband, and we broke up for a period of time. And because I didn't know myself and I didn't know how to be honest with myself and what I really wanted, we got back together. But the only way that we were willing to get back together was to say, what's going to be different? Because if nothing's different, you get the same result. Do the same thing over and over again, expecting the same result, you're insane, right? So it's good for you to acknowledge what is different so you can grab onto that, pull it into you, and say, this is what I'm going to want a different result, you need to understand what you're doing differently. Okay. This that we're about to share with you is going to be extremely powerful for how you show up and how you validate what you're doing good, not how you validate what you're not doing good. Okay. Everybody want to focus on like what we're doing well rather than like what sucks.
Drop a yes in the chat if that's what you want to focus on.
Transparent and real. Okay, so I'm hearing the leadership.
The main consensus is like
bare bones
teaching how to think and mindset.
Okay. Perspectives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking to the whole person. Okay, not just what you eat or how you move your body. Okay, great. The truth is, you are a whole person. If we don't consider all of you, we don't get to transform all of you.
Yeah.
We only can transform a piece of you, and it's never permanent. So you have to consider you are a whole being. Like some people, like me when I was 12, like to take the cheese and pepperoni and everything off the pizza, just eat the dough. But most people don't like to do that. The whole pizza, eat the whole pizza. I don't know if that was a good analogy, but it was funny. I take all the shit off. I don't know why. Just I want the dough and the sauce. Weird kid. Okay. So, anyways, let's talk about how to grow your emotional resilience and stack wins in your emotional bank account. We can also call this a confidence bank account. This is a confidence bank account because the more emotionally resilient you are, the greater your confidence grows. Yes or no? When you can say no to something, chocolate cookie. No. You have just more confidence in yourself, right? Because you feel more in control. You feel like you have the power.
And the reason why this is important is because when you transform your body, what you're going to notice is that your things in your life are going to shift, and you will now, like have the desire to reach up for more things, which means you're going to continuously evolve into new and bigger challenges. And how in the world are you going to feel confident now, you know, overcoming a way greater challenge if you do not have the confidence? It's impossible, right? So what we do here is we help you to build the confidence so that number one, you can get to your goal. Because let me tell you something, so many people are scared of this concept called a plateau. You will reach a plateau at some point. How will you overcome the plateau? For some people, it's going to happen after 3 months. For some people, after 6 months. For some people, after 1 year. The only way to overcome it is to build that mental resilience and to have confidence. Without confidence, you're unable to lead with faith. And when you reach up to play a bigger game that you've never played before, you must lead with faith. Otherwise, fear is going to take over. And what happens when fear takes over? We're going to get back to the game that we always play, the comfortable game of, like using our food to mask our emotions or to mask our lack of confidence. So, this is about giving you the tools to help you to start building confidence and use it in a way that's measurable so that you can get daily reaffirmation. Because when you play the game right, and I'll tell you, like when you get leaner and like your body falls into place, do you think that Aaron and I are like for the scale to go down every single day? Like there comes a point in time when that is no longer relevant. So what we're doing is we're mentally preparing you for the bigger game, not just in a physical manner, but beyond that. Whether you want to take it over to your career, towards other relationships, to whatever it may be, right? So this is the power of that. Do you want to take it away so we can?
Yeah. So I just wanted to write down basically what you guys said in summed up version. So mindset, community, perspective, leadership. And I want you to see these so that you can keep these in your wheelhouse. Okay. Mindset. We're always working on this forever. Community. Make sure you stay in this community. If you like this community, you're still here for day 3. So I'm guessing so you like it a little bit. Stay in the community. I guarantee you will not find a community like this. Guarantee 100,000,000%. I think Boogie just started. Someone's all, ooh. Okay. Perspective.
I'm like,
Perspective. This is a choice. You get to choose if it's a helpful, productive one, or if it's a destructive one. Leadership. Whether it's me and Sari or somebody else, what matters to us the most is that you have leaders who are courageous enough to share with you the truth, what doesn't feel like rainbows, butterflies, and pillow talk and warm tea. Okay. I don't know
and also to show you what's possible.
and that practice what they preach. And we actually had a YouTube video that we did on like how do you find a good coach? Not how do you find a good coach? So then, plus we're emotional creatures. We need energy. We're very smart emotionally, like beings. And you just know, like when you saw an ad or when you saw whatever, you came for the first video and you're like, wow, something's different. You can feel it. Okay. So that's called intuition. And it's that self-talk, making sure that you are being at least aware. Don't expect perfection. Okay. We still like yesterday I called myself a loser, and but I was aware and I said, okay, well, you have the choice to continue calling yourself a loser. We all go through it for different reasons. Okay. But you have a choice. So as long as you're aware and you recognize, okay, sustainability, making sure that I have like a rule. People are like, "What do you think about keto? What do you think about intermittent fasting? What do you think about this, that?" Right, wrong, bad, good. I don't know. But what I say is, if you've been doing it for a while and you're kind of like starting over, if something doesn't sound like you would want to do it for the rest of your life, don't start there. Do not start there. You can always experiment later or progress to more disciplined life, but do not start there because you just won't follow through. You don't want to. Okay. Stacking wins. Let's
Okay, so in the concept of stacking wins, there are two definitions that we need to grasp, and that is the concept of deposits and the concept of withdrawals. Okay, so deposits are daily actions that we know deep down are moving us in the right direction. Okay, so deposit from a bank account terminology is add more cash. From a behavioral standpoint, what that means, doing the thing that is aligned with your vision and where you want to go.
Michelle Jett, it's not quite like a power list because we're not going to make a to-do list. I think that's what you're talking about is like a power list. The first person I heard say that was 80% a power list. I call it a to dominate list, but what we're talking about is going to be different.
Yeah. So then the next part is a withdrawal.
Withdrawal well.
So, with the bank, it's taking out cash.
Minus.
Okay. And from a behavioral standpoint, what it means is not doing the thing that is aligned with your goal or doing the thing that is in inverse relation to your goal. Okay. So doing the thing that takes you away from your goal, not doing the thing.
That takes you away.
Yeah. And here's something that's important to know that takes away. So just like, the game of money, money is a game, by the way, right? That we're not taught how to play either. And that's why whatever is happening on an economic level with the shift is also happening on a health level. Why? Misinformation. Okay. So withdrawals can be intentional. Like you paying your rent, or, you paying for your groceries. So the whole concept of deposits and withdrawals is just a part of life. However, when it comes to building your confidence, you want to make sure that overall you have more deposits than you have withdrawals. And time is a magnifier for better or for worse. And as time goes on, the relation of your deposits to your withdrawals only keeps increasing. Okay. Because what it does is it shows you that you're making more progress from within. So, for example, I want to draw a graph. If you know me, you know I like graphs. So, let's say when you join our programs, this is literally like how we implement every single day, depending on, whatever it is that you're working on. So let's say, February, we're in February, right? So let's say you followed through with all of your, with, let's say, half of your intentions in February. Okay. So you ended up getting 14 um, deposits.
You're just talking about days, right?
Yeah. And 14 withdrawals. So every day you should have a score. Let's say in March has 31 days. Let's say you had 18 deposits. And then you had 15 withdrawals. Right? And then let's say April, I think April has like 30 days. You know, you now have 21 deposits and 9 withdrawals.
HD.
So, like, if we were to graph this, right, February, right, would be here. March would be here. April would be here. So, and then we put a line over it. Where do you think? So now you have what we call a trajectory. And this is what you need to build confidence, trajectory, not the scale. You guys, we can put you in the sauna for 20 minutes and say, ta-da, we help you lose 5 pounds. Is that going to help you build your confidence? No. You know, like weight manipulation is really simple. And we can do it really fast. But you know, if you've been, you know, if you're like, you know, where Erin was, where she tried to lose weight since the age of 16, if you're like how, you know, where I was when I tried to lose weight since the age of 12, how old were you when you tried to lose weight for the first time? Okay. Or maybe you don't know. It doesn't matter. We can all have a sauna party and it can be great. But what's going to happen tomorrow? What you do in the sauna does not determine anything because on an emotional and on a mental level, you did not build more resilience. Okay, so on a day-to-day basis, you're going to have a daily score. And within your day, you're also going to have withdrawals and deposits. It's going to happen throughout the day, for the day, throughout the week, for the month, for the year, and eventually you turn it into a lifestyle.
I want to say one thing real quick though,
Yeah.
because do not have the expectation that this is what success looks like.
No.
Okay, you started to draw it that way. However, we all have moments. We all have days, weeks, whatever. Hopefully, it doesn't go past the week. We can mentally pull ourselves out because of the awareness that we've created of our emotions. Sometimes we go down a little bit. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that, right? Sometimes when you read a novel, the main character goes through some shit, right? Okay. But to remember, oh, let me be aware of what's going on. Maybe, like, heaven forbid, something really traumatic happened in the family and there's grief or whatever, and you're processing through that. Right? Maybe priorities shift a little bit as you go through life. You have a baby, your priorities change a little bit from what they were before you had a baby, right? So it's okay to need to relearn your new environment when you have new circumstances, right? So it's okay to take a dip, just as long as the overall trajectory is up. And sometimes it gets really fucking messy sometimes. But as long as we can.
But it's about keeping score and doing the right thing.
So let's take a look at what are some examples of deposits and withdrawals. Yep. So check this out. Deposits can mean I did a workout. Bing, cha-ching. I ate veggies instead of pizza. And it wasn't like, yeah, veggies on the pizza, so pizza was good. I ate veggies instead of pizza. Okay, going the extra mile, meaning, hey, I had an extra set in my workout when I didn't feel like it. Um, Meal prepping. You don't usually meal prep or just preparing in general for anything. Organizing your office, being kind to yourself, doing something for a stranger, helping somebody else. All of these are deposits and they make you feel really good about you. I think it was yesterday in the backstage you were talking about this. When we feel like we are missing something in our lives, when something's lacking, figure out how you can go give that thing to somebody else and it elevates
Yeah.
you. Examples of withdrawals are going to be skipping your workout, pressing snooze, giving into a craving rather than resisting. Maybe you drink more than you intended on drinking. So stick to your intention. Maybe you talk really mean to yourself. Maybe you skip a set in your workout because you just were too tired and didn't feel like it.
Yeah, and something else that I want to add too is that this is important because how you do one thing is how you do everything, right? So like if you talk down on yourself and like you've created that withdrawal, you're going to tolerate other people talking down on you. And like it's important that we understand and we implement this system because number one, it applies in other areas of our lives, and number two, it generates momentum throughout the day. Or let's say something happened where you lost momentum in the day. You understand that just in the moment because you had one withdrawal doesn't mean that you can't make up for it. And this is super important to grasp because how many times have you either told yourself or you heard perhaps something in your family, in your office, and your friends say, "Oh, I'll start next Monday. Oh, I'll start next month. Oh, I'll start next year." No, when you follow this system, you're going to keep score regardless. And by keeping score, you start to get intimate with the state of your action and how that aligns with your goals. Remember what we said. Tomorrow, we're going to take a deeper dive with regards to nutrition. However, the mechanics of nutrition are simple. It is the thoughts and the behaviors that lead to that because you can know all day, like I said, that sweet potatoes and chicken thighs are going to do you better for lunch. Now, if you end up going for the pepperoni pizza, it's probably because you are trying to justify for other withdrawals that you made in your day and in your life. But now that you become aware of that, you're going to be like, whoa,
Maybe, maybe not. Everybody has their own reason.
sure.
But the fact of the matter is, it's what caused you to make the decision. It wasn't the pizza or what was the other example that you gave? Pizza or chicken and sweet potatoes. Like
Yeah.
the sweet potato, like, hey, please eat me. You should eat me because I'm healthier. And then you're like, yeah, okay. And the pizza's like, healthier, you should eat meat. And you're like, I don't know which one. Like, so it's not the food that's the issue. It is what causes you, what is within you that causes you to make the decision on which one to choose. Because if we are all, hey, what's going to be better for you? A bowl of ice cream with cereal on top, preferred, uh, or a piece of salmon with steamed broccoli or whatever the coolest vegetable is to you. Like a lean protein and vegetables or ice cream. Everybody's gonna say we all know which one is better for us. So it's not the food that's the problem. It's what is within us that makes the decision. And why did we make that decision?
And over time, the ratio of your deposits to your withdrawals, which you start to find out, is that it it creates a shift in your state of mind. And that's when things start to change. Like yesterday in the VIP, like Tabitha, she has, been, in the army with our program since
In the ES Army.
in the ES Army for the last 6 months. And, she has learned how to implement it to, a deeper degree in her life. And she stacked enough deposits where now She feels like she's ready to step it up and magnify it to other areas of her life. And this is the beauty of this. You know, I tell everybody, now I can only speak from my own experience. When you want to lose weight, you say you want to lose weight, but nobody wants to lose weight just to say, hey, Gina, just so you know, I weigh 155. Like, no, it's because there is a certain feeling and a way of being that you correlate with, you know, looking a certain way or having a certain number on the scale. Okay. However, how do we keep ourselves sane throughout the process? Because if you continue to focus on the scale, that will not keep you sane. Because what if you did really well and the scale says you gained 2 pounds? You'd be like, shit's not working. No.
Okay, so you mentioned an intentional withdrawal, like paying rent. You do it on purpose because there's a reason for it, because there's something that you get out of it. I'm going to exchange this money in the form of a withdrawal. I'm going to give it to the landlord or property owner or whoever so that I can have the reward of a roof over my head, right? So can you talk a little bit more about like what when would we make intentional withdrawals with our goals? Like, oh my gosh, heavens no, I should not mess up ever one time. I should not withdraw.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, like, this is the power of coaching, like we talked about this morning. You know, like when you join our programs, we call it an intentional zero. Like, you know, sometimes things shift in your life. Like maybe one of your deposits is doing a workout. Now, what if you have some kind of injury where the workout only makes that injury persist? Like, is that, you know, is that deposit still relevant? Or is that actually going to cause more things? Or maybe,
Wait, I want to jump in because that's different.
okay,
That's a pivot.
okay. So, you know, an intentional withdrawal can be something like, let's say you have your wedding anniversary, okay? And let's say you're going to dinner with your spouse. And, you know, maybe you guys want to get a chocolate lava cake for dessert. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Listen, like in the moment, that lava cake may, you know, not be the thing that is with the most alignment with regards to your goals. However, by the end of the day, it is all about your vision. And we are more than just the physicality, right? So if your maybe physical withdrawal is a deposit for other areas of your life, maybe, you know, celebration with my spouse or connection with this, or, you
That's what
know,
I was talking about.
acknowledgement of, you know, a milestone or an achievement, ain't nothing wrong with that.
This is what I was referring to. So, for example, you're getting married, eat your fucking wedding cake, sure, or have a drink or whatever. The difference is intentionality or mindless. Am I doing it mindlessly? Am I doing it by default? Am I doing it on autopilot? Or am I being very, and for those of you who are like the justifiers of the world, well, it's intentional because I just decided I'm going to do it.
Oh yeah.
No. This is not what we're talking about. We're talking about like in the future, you're planning for something. You're like, hey, my BFF is graduating. She just got her PhD and we are going to celebrate. And you're like planning to go have drinks. Okay, so then you prepare for that because you're like, okay, I'm going to make sure I'm very intentional and on point with other things so that I feel like I really earned this intentional withdrawal. However, it is a deposit in a different area of your life. Connection with your best friend, acknowledgement of your best friend, a closer relationship with your best friend, being present in the moment. You know, there's a deposit in another way, but you're taking an intentional withdrawal that is planned ahead of time.
Yeah.
So those are fine. It's just about the intention. And you know in your heart, like if you're ever second guessing, like you can know in your heart if you're making a justification or an excuse to just do something because you feel like it versus you really are intentionally doing it. You planned on doing it. That's why you're like, I think I'm going to have a brownie right now because I just decided. So I'm going to be intentional about it. No.
Because it looks so good, or because I smelled it.
Because if you didn't think about it before you saw it, you were not intending on eating it before you saw it.
Right.
Right? So Just wanted to make that clear.
Yeah. So in a second, we're going to talk to you about today's challenge and how to actually implement how to grow your emotional bank account. However, if you found, a couple minutes ago, you guys talked about how, this is different because it's touching on mindset, community, perspective, the leadership seems right. It talks, this um, challenge and experience focuses on the whole person, not just the surface level physicality of it. Um, and it touches on your identity and your being, and therefore gives you a sustainable approach. We would like to invite you to the next step beyond those 5 days in the TKC.
Who wishes that they could like have this every day for all time?
Yeah. Type
Put
in
it-
group.
What are they typing?
If you wish that you could have this every single day, let me see you drop a yes.
Me.
You should. You should, because the atmosphere is different. And the atmosphere shifts your perspective of what's possible for you. And it also teaches you how to play the game right. So we would like, Aaron talked yesterday a little bit about the Raw Transformation Program. Today we're going to talk a little bit more about that, since registration for the next round of the Raw Transformation Program closes on Saturday. Today is actually the last day to join at the current rate of $397. You guys, we want to hook you up.
Can I jump in real quick?
Yeah.
These are what you guys said right here and how it's different. And the reason why this is important is because I want you to have something to hang on to that you can continue doing that's different than the things that you did before. No matter what next step you take for yourself, I just want it to be the best thing for you. Okay. So you got to hang on to these things. Now, if you're like so interested in doing a Raw Transformation Program, but you're like, I don't know if I'm going to follow through, making the choice to do it means I'm betting on myself. Why would I bet on myself? Because all of these things you said are different about this. You now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 700% greater chance because you've identified 7 different reasons why this is different than everything else that you've tried. So if you go to another program, pay a couple $100 for a meal plan that will last you like 6 weeks or something like that, 8 weeks maybe, and nothing's different about it. You have clarity, you have structure. These are things that we love about programs, right? Let me just add them to this. When you sign up for something, or you pay, has anybody paid for anything online to lose weight? I paid like so many freaking things. I paid for diet pills, and I paid for meal plans, and I paid for pre-made meals, and I paid for I paid a personal trainer. But what we love so much about it is structure. How do we know? We actually asked our community who's done our programs. We like the structure. We like that it's very clear. We know what we're supposed to be doing, right? People are like, they give you a meal plan and you're like, okay, well, I'm eating 4 egg whites plus a half an avocado plus a piece of toast for breakfast. Easy. Because why? You're great at following instructions. Cool. What else is different about this that you don't know yet that I'm going to tell you is that we give you the power to learn how to coach yourself. So that eventually you're not dependent on what somebody else tells you need to do. You know what you need to do, and you've developed the skills, the habits, the discipline to be able to follow through with what you know how to do. Imagine the confidence that you get when it happens. So we could sit here and we could tell you, now you have an 800% chance of success over whatever else. So we could tell you, okay, you get a success manual. You get workouts. workouts. You get workouts. You get live coaching sessions. We make it a game. So it's gamified so that it's kind of fun and you like want to follow through because you put the little beep, boop, beep, enter the numbers into the idea machine. And it's gamified. What else happens? Q&As, live Q&As. So any questions you have, you can show up live and get answers to. We could tell you that it has food quality guide. We could tell you that it has what other things? What do I get?
Meal plans,
Sample meal plans, restaurant eating guide, a recipe book.
recipe book, meal prep videos.
But we can tell you, here's all the things you get. But at the end of the day, do these things really matter? Regardless of what these are, our goal is to show you how, number one, to gain confidence in yourself, to believe in yourself. For number two, or three, number two, we want to teach you how to think for yourself, how to choose certain foods for yourself, how to plan in advance, how to take the stresses of life and minimize them so that you're not as susceptible to eating your feelings all the time. We want to teach you how to communicate with loved ones so that you can get people in your life on board and in alignment. We actually have an entire week, a coaching session where we talk about alignment. Because if you've got this path where you want to get from your starting goal to your end goal, which eventually you just keep getting better. I would love to hear from people in this community who have done the raw. How far have you, how close to your goals have you gotten? If you've gotten further than you thought you would, okay? Then if you've got like, let's say families down here and you've got work up here and you're like, I got my workouts though, like they are on point. And I've got food up, actually, like, let's put food way up out of here. And then we've got like kids, and there's things that are not on this line. They pull you away and they make it harder for you to succeed. So we want to Aladdin the shit out of you, put you on the magic carpet and fly you over all the garbage that's below you that you have tripped over time and time again. And we want to fly you through magic fantasy land to the destination. Now, is it going to be easy? No, I'm not going to lie to you. Nothing great is easy, but it is much less complicated than you have been made to believe. So right now, you can literally get the Raw Transformation Program at $397. Tomorrow, it goes up to $597. And we decided that we're going to give you an extra bonus that is something we've never done before. It's a 2.5-day intensive where we are going to make you drink through a fire hose to learn I don't even know how much content in 2.5 days, where we just get to spend the whole time with you, giving you more of this, like a class in like mid-March, we're going to do it. And we're going to give you a ticket to that event for anybody who signed up for the Raw. If you already signed up, sure, fine, awesome, great. You too. If you already did it, if you're already in. Anybody else who jumps into the Raw, we're going to give you a ticket to that 2.5-day event in March. And it will be recorded. I think it will be recorded. It will be recorded.
Yeah.
It will be recorded. Even if it's not, it's worth it. Go.
Yeah. And in case you wonder how much is that ticket, that's $197 as of right now. So, if we could describe what it's like, everybody who goes into it,
you know what else?
Can we?
But I'm also going to give them the Overcoming Emotional Eating course.
Okay, great.
Overcoming Emotional Eating course. You're going to get that too. Anybody who signs up for the Raw.
It's easy to think that it's just like other things that you've done in the past. However, have we shown you enough through this experience so far? This is the first step. We haven't even taken a deeper dive because you have to go through the first step to get to the second step. So you understand the language and you can embrace the atmosphere. However, consider it an educational experience that will help you to transform your body. And for any of you, I saw a lot of parents. I think it was day one that we had you drop a P in the chat. If you're a parent and you've done the raw and you know that this has not only transformed you, but it started to transform your family, can you just share your experience? Because a lot of times, especially when we're moms and we're so dedicated to others, it's easy to, now speaking in terms of bank account, when it comes to withdrawals, make all the withdrawals for the rent, for the house, for the grocery store, for the kids, for whatever. But what's left for you? So you see, if you do not make yourself a priority, you're going to continue making more of that. This is an investment in yourself that doesn't only end with you. It ends with everybody else around you.
I want to read this. Steph said, because here's the deal, we will fight for you. So that's really what this is about. And we just have so much faith that it will transform your life that we're like, come on, don't wait. Don't let somebody else tell you you can't do it. Don't let yourself tell you you can't do it. Steph said, any this resonates with you, jump into the rock. My only regret is that I did not make the decision to do it earlier. Don't make the same mistake. Because it's often to say, like, it's easy, like, I'll wait until the next one. You guys, I'll be very honest with you. Nothing is guaranteed. We've done the raw a lot of times, but nothing is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Nothing is guaranteed. Because, and I'm not just talking about like, oh, you might die tomorrow. No. Like, I'm not trying to scare you into anything. I'm legitimately saying it is not guaranteed that the raw is going to be here again in this capacity. It's not guaranteed.
Yeah.
So don't wait.
Yeah. Don't wait, because yesterday we talked about, like, what is your age? And, like, how much of the runway has already passed? Now, for the rest of the runway that we have left, how do we want it to look like? You guys already know that some of you waited for too long, but it's not your fault because you haven't been introduced to the solution yet. So you continue trying and getting yourself to the same thing over and over and over again. I'm telling you, the solution is here. This is a proven program. Over 1,500 people have gone through this program. You're not the first person. And you have an entire team who's backing you up. Our entire coaching team is with you there every step of the way for the entire 8 weeks.
Although, can you drop the link again for that?
And I'll tell you, unless you refuse to communicate with us, even on those hard days, we're going to try and we're going to pull you out of whatever it is, because this team is also a byproduct of the product, and they can read you and what you're going through without you even saying anything. So we have a lot of, ninja systems to know, like, are you playing the game? Is everything okay? What do you need? We believe in you. You've heard Aaron's story. You've heard my story. By the way, coaches are going live today at 3 p.m. in the Facebook group to share with you their stories and how these programs have transformed their lives and why are they so passionate about helping you. You guys, trust me. If we were doing this for ourselves or for our own personal gain, we could have stayed in our extremely comfortable personal training jobs. Heck, we could have gone and we could have, been in other industries. However, our mess became our message. This is our purpose to transform you because you guys remember 98% of Americans are sick. This might be you. This might be your parent. This might be your child. And the change starts with you right now, not tomorrow, not next year. Because let me tell you something, there's no such thing as the right time. Even if the situation right now is not perfect, there is still a way for you to create deposits. So won't you rather start stacking deposits sooner rather than later? So when a better time comes around, you are already leading into it with better skills, with more and with better skills and with greater confidence so that you can execute at a higher level. So many people are waiting for this perfect time in their life to come around. And do you guys know there was actually a study that was made? What is the thing that people most often talk about on their deathbed?
What
And that is the things that they regret doing.
they regret not doing.
Regret not doing, sorry. So, what's in the past is beyond you. You cannot control what's in the past. However, you already know what you want because you created a vision on day one. How are you choosing to lead yourself with it? And by the way, if feel at a level 10 out of 10 in terms of confidence, readiness, willingness, and ability to do this on your own,
Go for it.
then go for it. However,
If you
most
don't,
of you have told us that you've been struggling for who knows how long. If we continue to do the same thing, the same way we've always done it, then guess what? We're going to continue getting the same results because we're a byproduct of our habits. In 5 days, we're committed to showing you and teaching you as much as possible. However, there's only so much that we can stack in 5 days. And we know that for some of you, it is a bigger investment that you're used to. We completely understand and we respect every dollar that you invest in yourself with us. Our intention is to help you. And by the way, to help you so you can gain the confidence and make it back 10, 100,000 fold. That is what we want. And that's why we're also adding these bonuses so that you can feel less resistance if you're feeling any resistance because maybe this is new, maybe this is a little scary, maybe you're a little bit nervous. But let me ask you a question. What is your gut telling you in this moment? If time was not an issue for you, if money was not an issue for you, whatever is coming up in your mind right now that is making you question why you should do it, if these things were to be taken away and were not a factor, would you do it? What are you choosing to focus on? By the end of the day, it's a choice. We're just extremely passionate and we want to do everything that we can in our power to help you get yourself to the brighter side. I would let you guys, the ES Army, speak for yourself about the program. It's easy to look at Aaron and I and say, oh yeah, like here they go with a pitch. Life is a game of enrollment. We are enrolling you on you because nobody else has before. Most people have probably done the opposite. And life is also an exchange. We've got a team.
you give, you receive. You give, you receive. You give, you receive.
Yeah.
That is the game of life.
Yeah.
And we exchange. So instead of trading a cow for a bag of rice, you trade money for whatever problem you try to solve.
Yeah.
Right? So you can go to rawtransformation.com, rawtransformationprogram.com, rawtransformationprogram.com. You can check it out. Also, can we drop a Coach's Corner link again? If you guys want to just chat with somebody from our team, look, you guys, we're here for you. We're not here to try to tell you what you do with your life. That's not what we're about. That just adds stress. I can't change you. Sorry, can't change you. We can. You're the only one who can create the change in your life. We just recommend you do it with somebody who knows what you're going through, who's been through the trenches that you went through, and can get you out on the other side because they've done it. They've been there, and they've maintained that success through a variety of different life cycles. Our hope for you is that you will find a way if it's something that you want to do. If it's not something you want, okay, I'm not here to force you. But if it is something that you really want, you're like, I wish I could, but consider if you want to finish the rest of that sentence or if you want to say, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how. Because that's what empowers you. And this translates into any area of your life. Not just this. Oh, I really wish I could do the raw transformation. Oh, I really wish that I could go water skiing. But you could say but, or you could say, and I'm gonna find somebody with a boat who can take me. Right? There is always a solution to the problem. You just have to be willing to look for it. Magic happens when you show up. I told that to somebody yesterday. I've like reached out to some of you, chatting with y'all, and it is. You show up, magic happens in life. It's amazing. The harder you work, the harder you show up, the luckier you get.
Yep.
So all I ask is you keep your mind open if it's something that you want to do. So
Open heart, open mind.
we're going to get to the challenge of the day.
Open body.
Because backstage is also hanging out waiting for us. Okay. We are on the challenge. Bing.
Okay, so let's get to today's challenge so that we can get into implementing and, figure out whether the ride's the right thing for you. However, it's time to play the game. So today we're going to implement how do we grow our emotional bank account. You already know the daily workout or 30 minutes of intentional movement will earn you 1 point. Making a post about you playing the game. We're going to talk about what the game is. It's going to claim you another point. So let's talk about what does growing your emotional bank account look like. So today we're going to make deposits. Okay. Your physical deposit is going to be to flex your discipline muscle by abstaining from that thing. Whether it's the oatmeal raisin cookies, the chocolate. We saw some of your guys' comments in the chat. Prove to yourself that you can do it for 1 day.
Just 1 day.
One day. Okay? So when the Cookie Monster comes out, not today. Okay? Mental deposit. You're going to go the extra mile. You can do it in your workout. Let's say if you're doing the Rise Above series, right? Your last rep, let's do another rep. Okay, or perhaps in your work, let's say
send one more email
right before you wrap up your day. You're either on a phone call or you're writing an email. Just do another one. Okay, find a way, and then in a social way, in socially, give a genuine compliment to one or more people. Make somebody feel better about themselves today. You guys, the more people you help to feel better about themselves, you feel better about yourself. I'm telling you that from experience. This is exactly why we do what we do. Because helping you to feel better about you and transforming you is the most gratifying thing ever. And it's worth anything. It truly does. Okay, so 1 physical deposit, 1 mental deposit, 1 social deposit. So that is your grow your emotional bank account exercise. So in your post, you're going to drop what 3 deposits did you make to grow your bank today? All right, I'll tell you one more thing. You guys, did you find today valuable? If you did, I want to see you drop a V in the chat.
Yay!
I want to see you drop a V in the chat because I want to tell you something about tomorrow before we wrap up today. We waiting? Okay. V.
3 of you. 4. Okay.
So if you think today was valuable, tomorrow is going to be a lot more valuable, because tomorrow we're actually going to bring you a very special surprise. So you definitely want to make sure that you join us tomorrow,
Something we've never
because
done.
if we're doing something that we've never done before and we're bringing you one special surprise, chances are that there's more surprises along with that. All right.
We
Between
can
now
neither
and
confirm nor deny.
between now and then, please go implement today's challenge. And if you know that these teachings have spoken to you so far, and in the moment it's maybe not as clear for you how this is going to work out, just start becoming creative with regards to how to make it work. Okay. And also remember, this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern, the entire coaching team is going to go live and share their stories. When you join the Raw, you also have the option of joining as a VIP, so you can work personally with the coach if you feel like you need that extra assistance. You're not required, however, you have that option. So for anybody who's considering VIP, especially, would be extremely important for you to see, so that you can, see which coach you feel like you resonate with most and that you'd want to work with. Okay. All right, you guys. That being said, VIPs, we're coming to you. Thank you for sticking around. All of you guys, we hope that you found today very valuable, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow for a much more valuable day. Be great.
See ya.